Hello, let's talk a little bit about the legend editor and how we visualize these various types of themes. I've got a view in front of me that's the basic themes view that we've seen before. And as I look at this, I see that I have several kinds of GIS layers or several kinds of themes. Some, like the bulk storage, are points, certain points on a map. Some, like roads and railroads and streams, are lines, linear features. Others, like this township section range layer, or the lake layer, or even the city and town layer, are polygons. And there's different ways to show these different types of layers. Let's look at the points. I'm going to double click up here, and that launches the legend editor. Legend editor shows me the symbol that's in use, tells me the theme name, and it actually has a drop-down menu that has different types of symbols. I can base my symbol on a single symbol for every entry in the entire file, or I can go into the table and I can use a graduated color if I have some kind of an attribute that has numbers in it, like rankings or priorities or populations. I can make color by the size of the population. I can make a unique value. Let's say I have a county or a state of Indiana. I want every county a separate color. I would say unique value based on county name, and every county would have a color. Okay, in this case, I've said I have the bulk storage theme. I've said I want to do a unique value for every symbol, and I pulled up the operation name so that every single operation has got its own color. I can come over here to label. Now the value is what's actually in the file, but the label is adaptable. I can change that. Or I could even put in here and say, I could rate these based on some inspection or something, passed or failed. And when I hit apply, it shows up over here in the legend. Maybe that doesn't make much sense. I can launch that legend editor again. I can come back over here and I can make, okay, I'm double clicking here by the symbol. I can make certain ones a flagpole instead of a dot. I can make the flagpole brilliant orange. I hit apply. I can make this one over here a big red X. Instead of a dot, I come down, got an X. Hit on the paintbrush to change the color. The foreground is the foreground. Background is what's happening behind that dot. So in the case of a point symbol, I'm going to just use foreground, make it red here, bright red. Then I have to always hit the apply button. Oh, I can't see that. I'm going to double click it again, come back to my point symbol. I'm going to make it really big, 20 in size, so that I can see it. Everybody can see it. Oh, a giant red X. That's what I want. Click that away. So now over here, this is a giant red X. This is a tiny little gold flag. It's out here somewhere. Let's turn off roads. Turn off streams. Big red X. Here's some points. Have to zoom out a little bit to find our little flagpole. Oh, that looks like it there. So now I'm going to use my zoom tool. Zoom around. There it is. That flagpole is the unit that passed. So we're able to change the legend. That was a point file. Let's change the legend on the roads. I've turned the roads on. Let's say I've turned on my aerial photographs. I've zoomed way in. I have these nice gray roads. I want to see what's going on, so I turn on the aerial photos. And my roads are kind of going to disappear because they're gray on top of a black and white photograph. So what would really show up nicely would be a bright road, a bright yellow or a bright white. So I'm going to double click roads. It's waiting to finish drawing the photos. You can see turning the photos on has slowed us down quite a bit. That's why we have them set to turn off until you really need them. So I have a road. I'm going to double click. Now I have a line symbol. I could make my roads some other kind of symbols. I could make them other widths if I wanted. And I can change the color by going to the paintbrush. In this case, I wanted something very bright that would show in the photos. I hesitate to use yellow because when we select things later, we'll use the yellow for selections. I'm going to use a bright blue. I'm going to hit apply. Okay, now my symbol is kind of a highway symbol with bright blue lines. I can X this out. And I'm thinking again about the photographs. There we go. It's painting from the bottom up, so it painted the various layers, did the photos, and it finally gets up to the roads. So now my roads really show, which might be good, might be bad. I'm going to turn off the photos for the next step. The last thing I wanted to talk about was polygon layers. When we started this project, we had this pink layer turned on. This pink layer is township section range, which means every one of these is a section, and if you look in the file, you'll see range 32, township 27, section 14, whatever. I have my lakes and rivers underneath it. Streams are turned on. Let's say I also want to see, down here I have cities and towns, but I don't see cities and towns. It's too far down. It's underneath this pinkness. If I turn the pink off, now I see cities and towns. Well, I need to know township section and range, and I want to see my towns. One option would be to drag them on top and have a big black town on top, but then I can't see township section range. So probably a better option, notice I can just drag these in the table of contents. A better option would make township section range transparent. I'm going to double click to get the legend editor. I'm going to double click in here, and I'm going to click on this box, which means it'll be a transparent bucket of paint. I hit apply, and now I have just an outline. Maybe I want to make that outline another color. I could double click, and I could go to the paintbrush, and I could drop this down to outline, and that will now set the outline to whatever color I choose. Hit apply. You always have to hit apply. Now I have township section and range lines on top of my towns, my streams, my lakes, and I can see through them. If I need to know which ones they are, I'd make them active, which they are right now. Theme, auto label, and then I get to pick anything attribute I want. In our file, TRS stands for Township Range Section, all three. I click OK, and I should automatically label every one of these. A little confusing though. Might have to do another trick or two. Might have to zoom way in, theme, remove labels, and do it again, theme, auto label. Now they're centered nicely. Now I'm going to zoom out to the whole county, and I'll see that the printing is so small I can't read it. But if I printed it, there they would be. And that's the end of this discussion.